welcome to episode number 474 of the Markedoutwrestling podcast. My name is Adam Baum. I am the Jew that leads the crew, here to discuss who won Wednesday's AEW versus NXT. As usual, each side will probably be represented by my co-host, the Bionic One, Brian. What's going on, buddy?
What the fuck is going on, man? How are you? Rody Rob?
Yeah, I am great. And the other one, Rody Rob.
Yeah, I'm here to shit on all your dreams.
Shit on
What?
all our dreams.
Not you guys. Like the anaconda vagina.
Anaconda? I don't even know what that means.
I'm talking about the YouTube live chat board.
Oh, good segue, Rob. Way to pick up on that. Anaconda Vice, Christopher Strike Leather, Mr. Min, Homer, Sealer Stout, Jason Sklenner, XL10, a.k.a. Jay. They're all joining us on the YouTube live chat board. You can follow us, like us, comment, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Hit that bell. Ding, ding, ding.
You can also turn the intro music down.
The intro music is down.
Ring my bell,
Yeah.
my bell.
Yeah, apparently it was still going when you were doing the intro. So I couldn't hear you.
No, definitely not. Rob,
that's what
Rob faded it out.
That's what XL10 was saying. No, for like the first 30 seconds or so, it's playing loud, and then it fades out.
All right.
Rob,
See his head? He said, what?
You're
Can't
not
hear
even
you.
the angry one.
Look, look at the board.
He's
You want me to read the
petty
board?
angry one over
No, play the fucking sound to go to the board so I could read the board.
the sound to
There
go
you
to
go.
war?
Thank you. So Jason Sklenner, there you go. He said, he said, turn the damn music before the intros start.
I'm
Turn
just
it
gonna
down.
I'm just gonna take that bed out.
He said XL10.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea. Have the intro.
Yeah, just have it in and
And
go
have
in.
like a little Natalie and Brooke. Yeah.
Maybe you could have it fade automatically, like within 5 seconds.
Wonderful.
Oh, executive producer in the house. We're going to talk about tonight. It is January 29th. We're going to talk about each offering from AEW and NXT. It seemed weird before we get into it. Rob and I were kind of talking about this, but AEW went tag team heavy tonight, and NXT went women heavy.
Yeah, you know what NXT does really well is that they highlight a division to build it, and they still work in the other two divisions, but you can tell it's not the main story arc of that episode. And so we've noticed a lot of new faces in the women's division on NXT, but they really haven't been getting they're over, but they haven't been getting pushed into anything of a division. So tonight really set a stage for division. And real quick, and I'll throw it back to you. The counter, though, is that we said, AEW pushed heavy on tag teams tonight, kind of doing the same formula where we're going to show moments of our other divisions, but we're actually going to do some tag team division work as well. I don't want to give it the nod as if that was a trend. It was good for tonight. I hope they keep that kind of trend up like NXT does. That's something they do well. It doesn't hurt to do things well that other people do. But it was nice to see NXT actually take advantage of some of their legit tag teams.
Yeah, you mean AEW?
AEW, yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool. The storyline for NXT, before we break it down, was not just about the women. They set 3 contenders for their other divisions and other titles.
Right.
By having winner of the Dusty Classic gets a tag team championship match. They basically, unofficially, I think it'll build to that, the Punishment Martinez versus Dominik Dijakovic. That match was seemingly for the number 1 contender to Keith Lee.
Obviously,
And
yeah.
Ciampa signed the contract.
So all belts got discussed.
It was overall, it was very good, where on the AEW side, we only got 1 championship booked.
Right.
And that is, now we have 2 matches for Revolution, Cody and MJF. And now we have Mox versus Jericho.
Right, and even with not having Bianca and Rhea on NXT, just highlighting that division and building that division highlights that championship as well.
Well, and they that's what's crazy about it. They got their contendership out of the way last week, showcasing the whole division, or whatever, 2 weeks ago, with the Battle Royal. That's set. So now they could showcase the undercard, if you will.
One criticism there would be that after such a high for Bianca this weekend, with Royal Rumble and the last couple of weeks on NXT really having great spots and getting good heat and good pops, I just feel like you don't let off the gas on that. I felt like maybe you should have had her in some form or fashion tonight just to keep that high going.
Well, and I agree with you, but at the same time, maybe ride it a week. Maybe not force it. She's still on a high from Sunday. This is Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's only 4 days later. The comeback next week is 10 days. It's 11, but you know what I'm saying.
No, it's fine. I mean,
it's a different
absence
wave.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she's, so to speak, went out on a high note.
Yeah.
Right now. So people are salivating for more. Brian, what's the board saying overall before we get started?
Well, going to Jason first. He says that NXT does a really good job highlighting stories and or championships without overexposing their top talent. Like, I mean,
Perfect. Yeah.
Did it tonight, right?
It's true. Let's break it down. Let's get to it. We're going to start with the opening for each show. And by the way, guys, I'm going to try to line up, just like I did a couple weeks ago, the matches that seem most common or the promos that seem to go together. So we're going to start off, though, here. Finn and Trent Severn, excuse me. And then
Not Severn.
Severn.
Seven.
Seven.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have an R in there?
No.
He's
Seven.
not fucking Dan Severn's son.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Trent
both
Seven.
have-
Dan Severn. That's
yeah,
where I'm
they
getting
both have
confused.
mustaches, but one's from fucking Detroit.
So
the other
I feel
one's
better
from London.
about my fucking Dave Silva comment earlier.
Jesus Christ.
Shit. I think maybe Britt Baker's going to call me out next week for fucking up the names.
Adam Silva.
Finn and Trent. And on the other side, we have Mox promo to open the show, which officially led into his contendership for Jericho. That'll be settled at Revolution. Where do you want to start, Rob?
I guess we could start on NXT's quick and easy. I mean, you got two guys.
Well, it is quick and easy, but I want to point out something because Brian wasn't here for the opening segment.
Yeah.
Brian, we talked about how AEW forces you to watch like all this other stuff to know why a feud is happening. Like sometimes this feud was built on
YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, and now it's a
Sure.
match and we don't know. Well, guess what? WWE does the same fucking shit, but they showed us what happened on the exclusive backstage last night where apparently Finn Balor attacked Trent at his car and just fucking beat the hell out of him.
Right. And you know,
So now we know why this is a match, because before they showed it, when they were just walking down the ramp, I turned to Rob and I'm like, why is this happening? I mean, here's two good wrestlers, but why is this happening? Simple build. I attacked you in the parking lot for no reason. Now we're having a
I
match.
think once AEW gets that second show added, which they already agreed to, like coming, we already know it's on its way. I think that'll help probably with maybe storylines and stuff. Like they'll put one of the ideas is highlighting what happens on Being the Elite on YouTube. So they could put that on TV, have that on the second show, kind of do like a summary thing like that, and like throw it on the actual
you
show
can
that's
put
on
a 20-minute
TNT.
segment together on Being the Elite,
Right?
and
or
then
like
just put
summary,
a
highlight, whatever.
30 to 90 second clip of it on the show to catch me up.
Right.
If you want me to care about why these two guys are fighting, you got to show it to me.
Yeah,
Sure.
Catch me up.
Trent and
Catch me
Finn,
outside.
I cared a little more watching the parking lot incident
Right.
than I would have if these two guys just curtain jerked the show.
No, but I mean, overall note here is that it was a good match.
Oh, great match.
With a simple build. So I mean, I don't know how we're going to compare it with AEW yet. I just know that NXT, if they wanted to start strong or solid, as I think is the better word, NXT started solid. You know, you're not going to have a mistake. But what they didn't do, Brian, what they usually do is they open huge. NXT didn't open huge tonight.
Kinda.
I mean, Finn and Trent's a great match. It is.
And this just furthered Finn's heel persona. That's all this match really served the purpose of.
Sure.
I mean, let's face it. This Trent wasn't jobbing. He was making sure that Finn continues this aggressive, angry fucking Finn.
I hope that it leads to a Finn and who's on the other side of Mustache Mountain.
Tyler
Bate.
I hope this leads to a Finn Tyler Bate thing.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure he's the next guy he's going to face because Portland is a long time away, and he's not fighting Gargano to Portland.
Yeah.
So they've got to do something with Finn in between. So this is perfect kind of build. I like the booking.
I'm surprised Rob's saying that like a Finn match in NXT is not really that big of a
No,
deal.
I just meant consequence-wise. Usually they start heavy with a consequence. Like, here's the women doing a battle royal for the championship. Here's the tag team title match. Consequence-wise, it wasn't that big. As far as talent goes, oh, yeah, huge. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, so before we pick a winner, obviously we have to talk about the other side.
Yeah.
Mox opens the show. I live by a code. I'm in Ohio, my home state. He's from Cincinnati, of course, not Cleveland. But he says, let's do it now. Let's fight. Jericho comes out and teases it. Brings the inner circle, +5 enhancement talents. Is that what we're going with, Brian?
Sure.
So that it's 10-on-1. Mox throws a cheap pop. But I got the whole city here with me. doing the Ohio chant. This started off a little low. Jericho comes out and does all the pirate quips, but the breakdown at the end, after it's official that they're going to fight at Revolution, was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the exchanges, the quick take of a headbutt to, I get Santana Ortiz mixed up, having JR moments tonight.
Goddamn, pal.
I'm not sure which one he headbutted. I think it's Ortiz.
Doesn't matter.
Santana, whichever one. And then he dirty deed him on the thing and then just runs right at Jericho. Mox has always done a good promo, and this was a good promo. It was just another example of it. And Jericho, on the other side, has always done a good promo.
Yeah. I don't. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's cool to see two just like ex WWE guys, like because even though Jericho's been in AEW from the start, and I mean Moxley too, I still they still kind of have that veil over him. It's cool to see them doing something like this because they couldn't do anything like close to this in WWE. Like I feel like the way that they're like
not without booking it hokey,
right, and the whole thing with the spike like that. No way would they do something like that, especially now. Maybe like years ago, yeah, maybe, but
I could see it. I mean,
and even like the whole like keeping kayfabe up and everything, like patch and shit. Like I don't know. I think it's cool. Like it's refreshing seeing. Them
you remind me of
what?
I used to go to this bar and drink, and it was an Alabama alumni bar. So all the football games would happen there, right? And all the Alabama faithful, when they got 2 yards from a running back, they fucking cheer loud as fuck. And when they lost 2 yards, they cheer fucking loud as fuck. I mean, it didn't matter. Just no matter what happened, they cheer loud as fuck.
All right, what are you getting at?
I'm just saying that here you are.
Yeah, where are you going?
Here you are saying stuff that they use gimmicks and eye patches and stuff. Yeah, you know what? Everyone does. You don't have to cheer loud as fuck just because they do what everyone else does.
Yeah, but he had a skin Band-Aid thing under the patch. I mean, his patch was fucked up, but I don't think he could see that it was fucked up because he still had the eye covering.
And he's walking around outside of shows with an eye patch on.
I get what you're saying. Keeping kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you.
I can
He's
appreciate
cosplaying with his wife, with the.
You don't get that in WWE.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
To an extent. Not
I'm here to rob your
this
booty.
Much. Not this much.
Okay. It's fine.
All right.
I have zero.
Berto says great Rob story.
Yeah. And Anaconda is going to be really happy that I'm going to say this, but as far as the opening of AEW, I really have nothing to say about it. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. It was fine. It was what it was. It continued the rivalry. Fine.
Okay, well, speaking of that, let's vote. For me, both sides, Rob, to me, were what they were.
Yeah.
But AEW announced a contender. So a lot of times when I need a push, the consequence of one is a main event for their next pay-per-view. The other is Trent Seven lost to Finn Balor.
Yeah, but did AEW name a contender? I mean, wasn't
Moxley is now fighting him at Revolution?
But
they
wasn't
clearly
that's
said
already been.
But
known.
it's already been a thing. It wasn't named.
That's right. It was awarded last week. You're right.
So it wasn't named.
They're just furthering their feud.
So I mean, if you want to say that.
You're right. You're right. That ruins my argument, Rob.
It really does. Oh wow.
Well, no, because they're still continuing their story.
No, that's fine. If you want to argue that one was story and one was more match centric.
But see, exactly. That's what it gets down to.
And that just depends on what kind of fan you are.
I was going to say, what kind of flavor of wrestling?
Okay, so what's your vote? I'm still going to go with AEW.
I'm gonna go with AEW because Jericho is in it.
Brian, you don't have to break the tie, but give me your vote anyway.
AEW.
All right. Moving on, we
got
some
more sound effects.
We got a quick little thing. Broserweights promo, very comedic, and on the other side, straight to the point, an MJF Butcher and Blade promo. Brian, this was fucking awesome. I know you like this. MJF walks into I don't know what the hell it was, but in the back of it was a butcher shop.
It was a butcher shop, yeah.
But that's not what he walked through to get there.
Okay.
The end game was he showed up in a butcher shop with the butcher just slinging a fucking giant cow that's completely, devoid of skin. I don't know how to describe it.
You don't have to.
Eviscerated.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And he walks up to Bunny, hands her an envelope. He flips it over and it says Young Buck's name on it. We go to the match. I mean,
perfect.
No words were said. The image that they created was perfect. Like Rob pointed out, they're hired guns. Here you go.
Yeah. They're mercenaries. I like we talk about a lot about things we like in NXT, like the Velveteen, they fought over the spotlight. They fought over Say My Name.
Yeah.
Simple things that create great stories.
Maybe like a dark APA? Like
sure.
in terms of the mercenary aspect.
Well, yeah, completely killing my point for a second. But so here's a situation where you need a simple story to tell why these two are fighting, these two teams, and it is that one's a mercenary that's been paid to do it. Now, I am not a Bucks fan, and I contend that I will never be.
Be careful. Robert, come on, man.
I'm giving my truth. I'm not a Bucks fan. I will never be a Bucks fan. But with that said, I had no problem with this match. I thought you had two legit tag teams, which I've been bitching about. I want to see the tag teams have tag team matches, not Frankenstein's over and over. Two legit tag teams in what was a good match. You had two conflicting styles that worked well together. You had the Bucks go down in the end, and how do you keep the mercenaries strong like the APA? When the APA lost, they still went and beat the shit out of the people that beat them. And the Bucks beat Butcher and Blade. They still came back in the ring, finished the fucking job.
Now here's the other important part. After they finish the job, more importantly, to tell the next story of the way the Elite is slowly kind of breaking down, you have Omega come and make the save. And then while everybody's kind of already standing, drunk, seemingly drunk, Adam Page comes down the ramp, hands his beer to Matt, says, hold it, does his flip over the ropes, lariat, takes out Blade, grabs the beer, finishes it, and staggers to the back. I mean, this is fucking great. We'll talk about what more happened with them later in terms of the Page thing, but Adam Page's character is so fucking over with the fans. They went nuts for this little spot.
That's exactly what, that's why I don't think they're going to turn him heel. I think it's going to be Kenny. Definitely.
Well, you've sold me on showing me the Kenny promos from, when he was heel over in Japan. So
yeah, but in this situation,
but he's too goofy.
In this situation, in the segment that came after it when they're in the locker room, what you saw was a clear Page, bucking up to no all pun intended, I guess, to the Bucks.
Well, I might as well talk about it here.
Yeah,
he comes out and says, "Guess what? We got our nameplates today. Maybe one day you'll get them too."
No, he actually handed them their nameplates. Like, here, they made them for everybody.
Yeah,
here's yours. Hold on to these.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Maybe you'll get to use them one day.
So, I mean, with that segment, though, you can see that Omega was clearly the babyface in the situation, and that the agitator is clearly
the drunk.
The drunk.
It's always. I mean, how can you have a drunk that's not or the agitator and a drunk is involved and it's not him?
Right.
It just makes sense.
So, where the fans maybe might put Kenny in the heel realm. Maybe it's only going to be because they're cheering for the drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. On the board, Stike is just saying, he's like, I said, I like the Butcher and Blade, but they're being treated like jobbers. They haven't won a match since Cody.
They don't have to. They really
They're
don't.
cutting good promos. They look strong.
If they use them like they used them tonight, they don't have to win. The APA did not win a lot of fucking matches.
No.
They were respected. They were badass. But like I said, if you keep that formula, and again, use the formula. It's okay if somebody else used it, if it works. So you use that formula, keep them strong.
I agree, but having that 0-4, lower third when they walk down to the ring doesn't help keep them strong. They never did that for APA because it would have looked bad.
I think that's unintended consequence, right? You want to be cool and make it like a combat thing, so you're going to put your win-loss record on that. But you don't realize that could affect how people view, these teams that you want to put over in some stature. Can you imagine if Ric Flair was going to the ring against Ricky Steamboat, and I don't know what his record was, but he had a fuckload of losses, right, in his career, a fuckload of wins too. But just to have that number kind of go against what you see him as,
yeah,
I think it could be a mistake that may be unintended, that they maybe not even realize. But
plus, they're the type of team that if you just see them kind of like beating the shit out of someone, like backstage or off location or somewhere else, like even if they lose matches, I don't think that could hurt them. Just really kind of depends on if you're telling the story outside of that, like around it. Like tonight, for example, like you said, like they were fucking like doing some dark shit, like
everything about this
shop or whatever
was very good. And now, in real time, Shotzi Blackheart was fighting Deonna Purrazzo. We're not going to talk about that head to head because I don't think that will be fair. We're going to do women against women next. So what we're going to talk about is the next match, which was Punishment Martinez and Dominic Dijakovic. Seemingly, unofficially, they didn't say it, but Keith Lee came out to basically bask in his glory, got all the Full Sail popping, and then Punishment Martinez comes out, says, I want a shot. And Dominic says the same thing, and they end up having, Keith sneaks off, they have an impromptu match. Was it a contendership for the North American?
I mean, it seemed obvious to me. Do you always necessarily need to make it an official thing with the announcers and all that?
Probably not.
No,
not at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they got in an argument. It was clearly who was going to be next, and it was, and here's Keith Lee. Y'all two need to fight about it.
Yeah.
So they fought about it.
And it was I'm sorry, the main roster has disappointed us. There is some athleticism, of course, in somebody like Braun Strowman. But here is two big guys in the ring, Brian, that can go. And not just go, but they don't seem forced in their spots. They do some high flying. They do some flips. They did some good exchanges. They're both, it's hard for a big guy to sell, but they sold me. They sold me on wearing each other down.
They usually don't have to. That's the beauty of like these types of matches because both the guys are fucking huge, and that's kind of like why they got to NXT in the first place. It's because they're like, as big as they are, they can fucking go as cruiserweight sometimes. And just the two of that, like when they're all in the ring at the same time, it's insane. But yeah, I think what you said, it's going to be. Actually, what about the thoughts of it being a triple threat?
Well, let me just make a comment before we jump on that real quick because I want to.
It was a clean ending.
Yeah, I want to echo what you two were just talking about. And we talked about it earlier off air. One of the things I really liked about when Big Show was at his big muscle moment there, when he was in great shape, and him and Braun had their match. Everybody was hype about it, and I was too. Mainly because I knew when you get two big men together, you could see what they can really do, right? You could see Big Show maybe do moves that he necessarily can't do. Just like a midget fighting a regular-sized guy,
He could do a shoulder block. He could never do that to Ray. What if he landed on him?
Right, but you can't do flips and shit if you're going against somebody 4 feet lower than you.
Right.
So seeing two, like you say, cruiserweight type of matches when you got guys of comparable size. Wonderful fucking match. We already knew Dick Jack could go.
Jack.
But
well, we've seen Punishment Martinez go. I mean, he was wrestling with Dunn and stuff. He's been featured a lot since November.
He has, but to see him with somebody closer to his size, I thought was great.
And it was a phenomenal match.
It was.
Dijakovic wins. So where do we rank this against the Bucks and Butcher and Blade? Because this is the first offering really of kind of the next men's segment because we're going to do the women's side by side next.
I'm going to go with NXT, and I'm going to tell you why. Because not only did we have a fantastic match with two big men, it was setting up a rivalry for a belt, which I think is always important,
and making the division look good.
But also this kind of proves the point we talked about before, Adam. Is when you put two guys against each other, Humberto and Andrade, and week after week after week after week after week, it gets old and stale. But Rock and Hunter fought all the fucking time. It never got stale because they had breaks. They had pauses between the feuds. And having Dick Jack go and do something else and then do this tonight after having the feud with Keith Lee and now returning to Keith Lee as a champion, it echoes that storyline. A great formula to have two guys face each other again and not be an old situation.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had their best of 3 series, Brian,
sure.
Leading into Survivor Series. It ended, so these two guys haven't touched since then. He's right. You kind of bring him back now 4 months later because there's a title involved.
Exactly. There's a title
right.
on the line, so that changes things.
This is how you do it. You don't have to put people fucking on each other every fucking week to build a story.
And NXT has lucked into some of that. Like Ciampa being out and coming back was like, okay, now we're getting to Ciampa and Cole finally. I don't want to blow my wad for later, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what's your vote?
You know
Bucks and Butcher and Blade, your dream.
I know.
Foursome, and Bunny's on the outside watching. She can hold your sack.
Yeah. Excuse me. What?
Versus Punishment and Dijakovic.
No, I'm gonna go with NXT just because I like heavyweights, man. I like big men going, like hoss fights.
I like the story that AEW told, but I'm also gonna go with NXT. So we're one apiece. This one's going to be probably pretty easy. Shotzi versus Deonna Purrazzo. On the other side, Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. I'm going to start with AEW. First off, I think your best wrestler in your division is Big Swole.
Oh, no doubt. In my opinion.
She was awesome tonight. She had a couple good near falls. Nyla Rose, I'm going to be nitpicky as fuck here, but she telegraphed every move. Like, while Big Swole is in the middle of going off the ropes, she's already got her head down, sitting, waiting for, I mean, like, I'm sorry, Nyla, you don't have it. You just.
I hate to sound a certain way, but I'm going to. I think Nyla Rose is more of a novelty than she is.
Funny Kisses the no.
But I think she's more of a novelty. Like, look, we're being diverse. You know, just because you're being diverse doesn't mean that person is necessarily a great wrestler or a great talent in the ring. Nyla Rose has never impressed me. Nothing about the character, the portrayal,
the moves,
nothing involving Nyla Rose has ever impressed me. But you are right. Big Swole is one of the more talented women wrestlers in the country. She's also probably the best.
She made Nyla Rose look good in spots just because she was good.
Yeah, she's great. I've seen her in Queens of Combat matches before, and other stuff on YouTube. Watching her before she joined AEW, she's a great fucking wrestler. She really is a good wrestler.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
she should be shined in there because she's probably inside the ropes. She's probably their best wrestler.
They're building Nyla as this monster, but yeah, I mean, she hasn't really had like a standout match. She has some good spots, like she put Rio through a table a few weeks back, and like she does some.
That's
cool
great
stuff.
that she can lift the girls and put them through tables. You need to do more than that.
She had standout matches, just not standout performances.
Right, exactly. But do you think like tonight's match? Do you think like that was Nyla's fault, or do you think it was more so like they could have produced it a little bit differently, maybe changed some?
I don't know what the rehearsal is. Big Swole looked good start to fucking finish.
Yeah,
Nyla Rose did not. At the times that Swole couldn't carry her because they weren't entangled, Rose couldn't hang. Like, she couldn't sell any of the shots. She's telegraphing, like I said, moves early. And, like, Swole's just trying to, like, go, come on.
Still totally different styles.
Yeah. And it didn't work, but Swole looked good.
Yeah.
I will say that for sure. On the other side, we have Shotzi, who has been I love this fucking booking, Rob. Shotzi eliminated Shayna.
Yeah.
Is now having another match here. Instead of some stupid-ass fucking jobber or enhancement talent, she's fighting Deonna Purrazzo, who has not been on TV for a while.
Yeah.
She comes out, she gets a match, she gets some shine, she gets a little bit of showcase to her. But the consistency of NXT booking, which is smart, is not to put Deonna over here.
Right.
She's just getting TV time.
Shotzi's on an upward trajectory. Don't kill it.
And you got her featured out here, and guess what? She won.
Yep.
No question there. But Deonna didn't look bad.
No, not at all.
And so, unlike the AEW side where you only had one wrestler look good, both look good on this side. Shotzi looked good, and she even looked good when she was taking the beating.
Yeah, and the thing is with the NXT is it was a clear, if you look at the story involved, it was a clear push for Shotzi. I mean, clear, this match is designed to help elevate her brand, right? On the other side, yeah, there was a clear push for Big Swole there, but it was a clear push because her opponent wasn't worth a fuck.
No.
She was only a good push out of comparison.
Same with the division, really isn't.
Well, I mean, apples and oranges. The division, if you want to say that, I think somebody on the board said this earlier, that NXT was just flexing their fucking women's division muscle tonight.
Yep.
And they were, and they can, because I don't care what you think about women's wrestling, one way or the other, it is undeniable that out of all the brands right now, every fucking promotion on this fucking planet, I don't care, NXT's women division is fucking boss.
You know, that's actually,
even I like it.
That's even
I mean, that's how good it is.
What old school TNA used to do. Like when they first had their knockouts division, like that was the division that was kind of their highlight during a kind of dark period of their promotion.
Yeah.
I feel like NXT, like that's what they should be doing. They should be like just emphasizing how good and how deep their women's division is.
Real quick, we're going to check in with the board. Sklenner says Nia Jax is 20 times the worker Nyla is. I agree. I saw her working out. Berto says, Adam, that's not nitpicky. Nyla Rose is not a good wrestler. That okay. And Bang Bus, here's a funny one. Nyla putting little girls through a table is like Adam slamming 20 chicken nuggets in seconds. I'm not impressed.
It happens. That's a thing.
Well, I have to chew. I store them in my cheeks. And then correction, Bang Bus also says Deanna was on main event. She faced Sarah Logan. That doesn't count. Doesn't count. No, I'm not giving that. Deanna hasn't been on NXT, the division she's in, for a while.
Yeah.
She's done spots. She's done some matches here.
Yeah, she does house shows. It doesn't take the argument away.
Right. So, anybody going to argue in AEW's favor here?
No.
No.
Yeah. So AEW's up, or NXT is up 2-1. Now we're going to go into the second hour. Are you ready?
Nope.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Second hour for AEW kicks off with Cody and Kip. Of course, Penelope's out there. So is Arn. And on the NXT side, we got Ciampa taking out Undisputed, bringing a table to the ring, marking it, and saying, Adam Cole, you're going to march down this ramp. I'm going to beat your ass, and I'm going to put you through this table. Guess what?
He did it.
He fucking did it.
Yeah.
It happened just the way he wanted it to. There were some shenanigans with Cole and Regal, but that match is official for Portland. They signed instead of a fucking contract signing, they had this.
Yeah.
Think about how cool that is. Regal came out. He already signed it backstage. He doesn't care who his opponent is. Ciampa's got a pen and a fucking table out there.
He was bleeding from his head.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking what?
He put blood on the contract when he couldn't find his pen, and then he got his pen but put it on there anyway. I mean, this is because Cole hit him with the microphone on his head. So I think that had to be where he got busted.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing is what I like about Cole, not just him himself, but his role here in the Undisputed Era and as the NXT champion, is that he's not a pussy champion, right? He could be a Flair-esque, dirty.
He could have stayed at the top of the ramp.
Well, yeah, but my point being is, as a champion in general, he could be a dirty champion and he could sell the shit out of it. But the fact is, he's like, no, I'll come down there and fight you right now. I'm totally gonna do that. And so for a moment, when I first said, oh, it's going to go exactly how Ciampa's saying it's going to go. And then Cole comes in and is like, nah, I'm going to fucking fight you, bitch. And it still ended up being the way Ciampa said, but Cole threw some shade for a minute, showing that he's a fighting champion. I like that about Cole, a good heel fighting champion. That's fantastic. But here's the thing.
Very, very Hunter-esque.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cole is very Hunter-esque. I know he looks like HBK, but he's very Hunter-esque.
My argument for the segment versus segment here is, I have to go with, and I know we're going to go in AEW in just a minute, and maybe I'll segue here, but is the fact that you have two guys on NXT at this point doing such a simple little fucking segment, but these are two guys that command your attention. If you see them on TV, I don't care what AEW is doing. If I see them on TV, I'm looking over at NXT for that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Ciampa really gravitates the whole Goldie and Daddy, and I mean, it's a different way of I need that belt.
Yeah, it's an obsession.
Yeah, it's a different obsession.
The way Cody should be about MJF.
Should be. Let's segue to Cody with that one. Cody and Kip. Any chance Kip got to distract the ref, Penelope got involved, of course. And once Cody was down, they're going to make out. In the middle of the match, Brian, I know you like this spot. They cut to Joey Janela just making out with a fan, which distracts Kip. Ultimately, we know Cody's going to win, and that's what happens.
Sure.
What'd you think of the Janela spot, making out with a fan?
You know, I like that he's getting involved still, and I like that he's getting his payback. He's getting his revenge for all the shit that Kip and Penelope have been performing over the past. Hello, Penelope. Over the past few weeks.
Yeah. He just kept grabbing her breast.
Yeah. It's also weird seeing.
That's why I want to be foreign. You can get away with that shit.
Arn Anderson getting involved with like Penelope Ford and everything. I don't know. It's just a strange dynamic. He's
this match was
grizzled.
But this match was a good Attitude Era style booking, Brian. I mean, you have both of these guys are in other feuds. Cody's clearly with MJF, and Kip, Penelope, Joey Triangle, whatever the fuck it's going on
but
there.
Kip wants his revenge. He wants to fuck over. I mean, Kip wants his revenge over. Joey wants his revenge.
So
over
you
Kip.
overlap two feuds here. It's fine.
Yeah,
it was a fine booking. It was a good match. I don't know how it could compete with what we had on NXT with Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah,
I again with the consequence, even if it's not, the match was fine. I'm not shitting on the match. Kip Sabian got a good chance to showcase himself, very similar to the way Deanna Purrazzo did earlier, or Punishment Martinez did in the loss.
Right.
No problem. Good fine booking here. Cody needs the win. He needs momentum going to Wardlow and MJF. I get it. And you got the Joey Janela distraction to further that feud, so that works out fine.
Yeah.
But NXT's offering was better.
Yeah, I agree that the match itself was fine tonight. It had some good drama points and, kind of some fun moments. For me, I'm still going to go back to I don't think Dustin should be in the match. I don't think he should be there. This is
Are you still over the obsession thing?
Yeah, less is more, man. And I'm still looking at it where Cody comes in, clean cut, fucking dressed to the T's all the time. He's celebrating with his boys. He should
be growing the facial hair,
yes,
looking haggard.
He should be like, the moment he lost the belt because of MJF,
losing sleep.
He should be obsessed.
Yeah,
I got you.
And so the first time people see him even in the ring to have a match after that whole moment should be when he fights Wardlow, because he's just been fucking obsessing and not sleeping. And they could do promos of him walking around his fucking neighborhood talking to himself in his fucking robe. I mean, anything.
Rob, you've been saying this for a week, and guess what?
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, every week you should be more obsessed, and he seems less. Like he could care less about MJF tonight.
Could you imagine a dirty, bearded
MJF was going after the Bucks, but they didn't even give a shit about each other.
Right. Could you imagine a dirty, bearded Dustin on his knees in the ring, taking straps to his back with this look of who fucking cares on his face? That's some TV.
Maybe
right
they'll eventually get there.
Or we needed to separate them so much that Cody's off tonight. He's not here tonight, so he can come out and surprise whatever. Just do that obsession like he's not going to be off. I bought a ticket. They could do all the sort of angles. They're doing nothing.
Or have
this match was all about Joey Janela, Kip Sabian, and Penelope Ford's little feud thing.
Have Cody in a boardroom meeting with fucking Tony Khan. I mean Cody and Tony.
Yeah, Cody and Tony.
And have Cody's just fucking completely checked out. Tony calls him out on it. He fucking flips out on Tony and throws fucking chairs, walks out the room.
I mean, that.
Just obsessive.
Yeah, he goes, "You're not doing your duties as a vice president. You're really slacking. This is bullshit. You need to settle this."
Strip the vice president from him.
Brandy could go, "He's not the same at home.
He can't get a boner. He needs Blue Chew."
His mom could cut a promo. He could have Jake Hager grunt and arg. I don't know. Yeah, what's the board saying, Brian?
Well, on the board, Stike is saying this is a hard one. I like Kip Sabian's arrogance and look. Looks like he's going to feud with Janela, but on the other hand, it's Ciampa and Adam Cole who are must-see TV. Yeah. Let's see. GX2 Entertainment says Adam Cole's segment wins because he's the greatest performer in WWE today. Correct. Yeah.
He's always been touting that. Bangbo says the NXT segment confused me. Regal going out finding someone to face Adam because it's already been said that Ciampa was going to face Adam in Portland weeks ago. I think it's more about it being official. You had Keith Lee in the mix when, Ciampa was saying Goldie, and it was just a little bit of different story being told then. And now it's, official. Keith Lee's out of the picture.
And it was a good just little segment in tonight's ladies' night to kind of give them a moment.
Yeah. And Jason's saying Cody looks and acts no different than he did first episode of Dynamite. Makes me think he doesn't care about the MJF match. I agree, Rob. 100%.
That's our point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Anaconda Vice, though, this was a sick match. You're bugging 3 Crossroads, so sick. It was a good match, but I'm sorry, Ciampa captivates me. Adam Cole captivated me.
He had a lot of passion when it was the Cody versus Dustin match, right? In those promos, I felt like there was a lot of fire in it.
Yeah, this just doesn't. It's not connecting like it should. This should be a blood fucking feud, and it's not. It's just not. So next up we have, I want to talk about these two together. We're going to skip Dakota Kai and Tegan for a second.
Why?
I want to talk about Chelsea Green.
Okay.
Caden Carter. And I want to talk about Britt Baker. I want to put these head to head. Britt Baker got cut off last week by JR. Saved last week by JR.
All right.
Tonight she comes out, and if there was any question, hey, Brian, she's a fucking heel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Britt Baker, she says to Tony, like a little, ugh. She scolded JR, gets a little pipe bomb there. Rob, what was the exact quote? The barbecue.
Some sloppy barbecue salesman that can't even get our damn names right.
Right. I thought that was a weird shade. Like, if you want to go kayfabe fourth wall break on a wrestler, I think that's okay. If you want to do it to
Whoa, what's wrong with being a sloppy barbecue salesman?
No. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Right? But going the beyond saying you can't even get our names right.
Well, yeah.
That's a pipe bomb that I don't know. Just it didn't feel like it belonged.
I made the comment afterwards that that's one of the moments, and I realized that JR is a professional, right? He understands the fourth wall and kayfabe and all that. I just feel like I want to see him walk to the backstage after the show and go, "Where is that fucking bitch Baker at?"
Right. They could put that on Being the Elite.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You wouldn't see that.
Yeah, I never seen it.
Again, it's a petty town, but I mean, why would she go after him? I get that she shit on the city with her comment. At least there's one Baker here that you can count on.
Here's where it gets kind of touchy, right? Is because they've touted it as such a big deal that their promos are not scripted. They are winging it. They are fucking going out there and doing their own thing. So we know that everything she said was off the top of the dome.
Bullet
that's
points.
where, right.
Yeah.
And that's where it bothers me. If they would have said, hey, go out there and fucking fuck with JR about his bad commentary, okay, that's one thing. But we know they don't do that. So she went out there and off the top of her dome decided to attack JR.
No, I think that's something that obviously was discussed because JR would have to be the one that would be, he would have to be cool with the fact that she's going out there.
I don't know.
shitting
She
on
said
it.
Tony needs a breath mint. He's got gingivitis. She said Riho's not. I'm on the poster. I'm the first woman's side, and Riho's not even here every week.
And again, we're making the promo sound much better because we're saying it. If you put it in her voice and replay it.
I like the fact that she went
if
after.
you read the recap, I bet it does sound great.
She went after JR because he's like one of the most sympathetic characters that they have in AEW.
Oh,
so
I
obviously
get it.
him going after
but
him.
why not take more digs at the Riho? She made one comment about her division. One fucking comment about her division. I know that the promo was a nice little pipe bomb and the board seems to love it. But she made one reference to a girl in her division. And she said, oh, she's not even here every week.
Yeah, it's shut up, Cleveland.
She should have attacked, instead of Tony and JR, she should have attacked the fucking division. Throw some shade at Nyla Rose. Throw some shade at fucking Swole. I don't care who you throw the shade at. Throw it at your fucking division.
No, I disagree.
You
I
want a
think-
true
no.
pipe bomb, and you attack the fucking announce team, Brian.
This is supposed to get her over, not the whole division. This is supposed to get her.
They are trying.
This is
really,
supposed to get the fans
why
to
are they
hate her.
trying
She
so
would be
hard
more
to get her
over.
over?
She would be more over if she did it against the division. Is my point, Brian.
I just understand why they're trying to get her over. Let's just be fucking honest for a second. Sorry to sound mean. Not great in the ring.
She's not great on the mic.
Not great on the mic.
She had to bend over. Tony was holding the mic low, but it's a good mic. You don't need to hold it
I'd
right
say
now.
that for your petty town. But I mean, I'm with you, but say for your petty town. I don't know why they're pushing her. That's a legit question. Why? She's like number one contender, right?
I don't know. Rio hasn't been on in a few weeks. She's over in Japan.
Okay. I'm just talking about Britt Baker, though, not Rio. I mean,
Well, I don't know if she's the number one contender. She named herself number one contender tonight.
Okay.
She was on a ranking, I think.
Point is, I don't. Who's it? Sklenar on the board. My thoughts are that I was 1,000,000% wrong about Britt Baker being marketable, skilled, charismatic, or identifiable. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you can admit when you're wrong, because she is not any of those things.
Vice says, I disagree big time. She was awesome at getting herself over as a heel.
Thanks, Miami.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Miami Vice.
And Bangba says she was taking the digs at JR because she's busting her ass every week, and JR comes in and makes the easy bucks.
She had to go heel.
I get that. I get that that's what she was doing there. My point is she should have thrown, if she segued into shit fest on Riho, fine. She made one fucking comment. She gave a fucking diagnosis about gingivitis to Tony Schiavone and made one fucking comment about the champion that she's supposed to be chasing or wanting to take the title from.
Again, this was about her.
Again.
Yeah, but okay.
I think you told a cooler
Her
story.
is not so interesting.
A very comparable character on the NXT side, and Chelsea Green makes her fucking debut and loses.
Perfect.
And the girl that hasn't won yet is the girl that beats her, Kaden Carter. There's a good booking for the future. Where's this going with Britt? She's going to fight JR? Where's this going with Kaden and Chelsea? Who knows yet, but wow, that was an upset.
Yeah, Chelsea comes in with name ID. People, the former Tough Enough star turned indie darling to turned NXT a girl. She's coming in with name ID.
She's been blasted all over the promos.
Yep. Kaden Carter has been there. She's been impressive, but she hasn't. It's always
She's
been kind of
enhancement talent.
It's been like, oh, that chick, right? She comes in, puts on a good match, and loses.
Yeah.
She comes in tonight against a known commodity, even though not necessarily in the ring, and she loses in good, and it's still a great fucking match. But you give some heat to fucking to Chelsea Green here for losing. You give some fucking shine or a little push to Kaden to say, hey, we're building our division. These two are going to play a big part in our division. Look at them.
And now you set up a potential 3-match sequence because if Chelsea wins the next one, you set up a rub. I mean, this has a nice build to it.
Yeah.
The Tony JR feud with Britt Baker. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm going to give the vote to NXT. I think Rob is too. Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with NXT. I think that's it's pretty intriguing having Chelsea lose.
Now we're going to go to the next match. Head-to-head. Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai have to settle their feud that was built since War Games. I feel they kind of threw it away here, just throwing it at the right after Ciampa and Undisputed. This is supposed to be a big deal, I would think, because that War Games spot was fucking phenomenal. And then we have SCU against Hybrid. Hybrid finally getting off Dark, getting on AEW. 2 tag teams there.
Again,
And you got Dark Order showing up at the end for a little talk with Chris Daniels.
Yeah, no, again, you have 2 legit tag teams building your tag division like you said you were going to do in a match, and it was a decent match for what it was. You show that your former tag team champions are not down and out. They're still fighting and competing. Great, push them. And then Dark Order at the end, quick and easy to the point. They mentioned their Overlord or whatever they called him.
The Exalted One.
The Exalted One, sorry, yeah. They mentioned their Exalted One.
Wonderful.
Yes. So.
And they mentioned that, hey, Christopher Daniels, we're not just going after you now. We're going after everybody, your family, your brothers. We're going after SCU too.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're building, if you consider SCU a little bit of a faction because there's 3 of them, in Dark Order, I don't know how many they're going to grow to.
Including the Creepers, there's
right, yeah,
dozens.
exactly.
3 million.
But you've set up a nice little feud here, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, we'll be delighted, not deleted. Delightful.
That was clever.
Thank you.
Mower of Lawns.
Hybrid, I can't take seriously because Jack Evans looks like Spicoli to me.
Dick.
The match was a very good tag team match because SCU carried it. Let's just be fair.
Well, the other 2 guys can go also. Got to give them credit.
They can, but they're not generals, in my opinion. They don't know how to pace themselves. They play to crowd heat after every one of their moves.
Sure.
Kenny Omega's goofy after his moves. Jack Evans screams some nonsense at the crowd. Fuck you guys. It's cool once, but it gets old. That's what annoys me about Proud and Powerful. Okay, you're crazy all the time. We get it. Jericho gave him the mic tonight. He went, I don't know what the fuck he said. And then he started speaking Spanish. So, I don't speak.
Okay.
Anyway, the Nox Dakota Kai, it fell flat for me. I thought this was supposed to be a huge thing. I mean, the match started off, we're just going to attack each other and just, out of nowhere.
It was what? No DQ, right? It was fucking all over the fucking place.
Yeah, but
I think I think this match fell flat to you, honestly, and this is our own fault, is because we're watching 2 shows and we're trying to focus on what's going on. And I think if we had this one going with full volume, paying attention to it, as I tried to here and there, it was a good fucking match.
It was a good match. It wasn't a blow-off feature, anything. On a night that you feature the women, this should have been more of a showcase, and it fell flat to me. On the other side, you have a quality tag team match. Hybrid did their spot, did their job. Dark Order comes in at the end, be like, hey, guess what? We're telling the story here. Where I don't want to see any more of Dakota and Tegan now.
Yeah.
Where I do want to see where SCU and Dark Order goes.
I think Tegan and Dakota should have been either one of 2 things. Number one, it shouldn't have been tonight. Should not have been tonight. I maybe Candace and Dakota could have had a match, but not tonight. I would have had the match.
Yeah, why did Candace even come out?
I don't know. I would have had the match with those 2 either as a main event grudge match on one of the TV tapings, or as a grudge match at a lower on the lower card of a
was
takeover?
because of the Rumble. They're all in the Rumble.
No, we
He said, why did they come out? Why
why
are they
she
all
come out?
interacting? That's why.
that was completely off my. Thanks
Okay.
for
No, I
acknowledging
was
my-
answering
Well, no,
him.
but
Sorry.
Candace
Thanks
just
for
came out to
ignoring my
celebrate with
point,
Tegan
yeah.
after she won.
Thanks.
Bottom line here,
Take it.
I'm giving the nod to AEW.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This was
No.
the other two
I'm sorry.
women's segments were good. This was not.
You can't compare them to the other. It wasn't what you wanted compared to the other women's segments as a standalone, and just this versus the tag team match on AEW. Tag team match was fine, but the consequence wasn't that much. The teams weren't exactly.
You built a feud within the division
No, that's fine.
versus a lame blow off.
I completely agree, and I made that comment before. I don't think it was a lame blow off. I don't know why you're saying that. I think you need to go back and watch that match again. That's what I think you need to do. The match was not bad. It had vicious moments. They were using the whole fucking arena. You know,
So what's your pick?
NXT?
All right, Brian, you got to break
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
tie
Is me talking too much for you?
and read the board.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with AEW. I like the whole Dark Order thing. I like that they're furthering the whole Exalted one and mystery of who the fuck it is. Plus,
And while they're also on their recruitment drive.
right, and I like having that they're still going after Christopher Daniels, because they've been doing that for a few weeks now. So I'm going to go with AEW.
And
Oh,
the other
look.
big thing, SCU is clearly fading out of the title picture.
Yeah.
But they're not fading out into the background. They're fading out into a fucking feud.
Yeah.
Look at this on our YouTube live chat board. Anaconda Vag and D2 Entertainment. Apparently, they're fucking. So that's good for them.
Oh, because they're shitting on you, Rob. Why don't you read their comment? Rob, you're such an NXT shill. You're terrible.
That's
Vice is also, he says, I agree. The NXT match just didn't help this show. Dakota doesn't come off as important to me as she once did when she turned heel. This whole feud, butt cheeks.
I agree.
And
It should have been
Tegan
done.
didn't have I mean, this isn't a
Yeah.
spot where we're like, wow, Tegan won.
I criticize it. Should have been done in a different setting. It should have had been more of a highlighted match away from a lot of the other stuff. I agree with that. But standalone, it was a good match.
Iron Med's asking what happened to Jimmy Havoc. I don't know.
Doing a bunch of indie dates. I know he's still doing MLW dates also. I don't know.
So before we get to the main event, I want to round out. We had a grizzled young veteran promo. The other one, we had a Pac vignette, which I thought was very, very good.
It was awesome.
The Pac just basically said, "Hey Kenny, fuck you. You tell me that you're gonna wait and get back to me on your time. No, that's not how it's gonna work." Unfortunately, I think they showed their hand a little bit because they had just booked the 8-man tag match, right before in the other backstage segment we talked about earlier. But Pac says, "I'm going to get you next week. You're not going on your timetable. It's my timetable." Perfect fucking heel thing. And what else is Pac doing right now? This is important. That he's like, you're in the fucking tag division, you're tag champs. I don't give a fuck. Guess what, Rob? Pac is way more fucking emotional. I've got to get you Omega than
Yeah.
Cody and MJF are.
Fucking completely agreed.
And this vignette proved it.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
You're right.
And,
No, that's a good point.
And they made him look dark. I love the black and white. I love that he's in his wrestle gear, but he's clearly on like some park steps somewhere.
Yeah,
in
I thought that
in
was a
park.
little weird. I wanted to ask you guys, do you think it was weird seeing him in full gear and like full getup,
No.
like outside of like a wrestling?
I agree with you, Brian. I hear you.
No.
I agree.
If this is my petty, you know what? I don't want to. Never mind. Never mind.
No, I think it was fine because it was black and white. He's supposed to look like he doesn't dress differently. He's not like Ciampa who tears his shirt off or comes differently. Like I've not seen Pac in anything but what he's wearing.
So it's because it's black and white. It's okay.
Well, and it was okay, but also he's not. What would he wear?
No, that's true.
What does he
Even when
wear?
they launched AEW,
suit.
he came
A
out.
black
He was
suit.
wearing his fucking full gear.
Yeah,
He's
See,
always in full gear.
That's what I'm saying. He's always in full gear.
Always ready to fight. Okay, sure, I'll go with that.
It makes sense. He's in a fucking park. What if I get jumped? I'm gonna fight him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he gonna go
I'm
to the
stretching.
deli like that,
I'm
or
stretching like Rob Strong.
go get coffee like that? Just wearing,
Does he have to register as a sex offender for going to
Right.
a park at night in underwear?
he has to cover his nipples at least to
And
go into a restaurant.
Anybody on the board talking about Pac?
Let's see about Pac. No, they're all kind of talking about the women still. Jason's saying, no, I'm sorry. Vice is saying, I agree with Rob that,
I would
I
say it
agree
was
with
better,
Rob.
but it didn't progress shit.
oh, I don't know what he's talking about.
Let's
though.
be honest. He's talking about Rob saying that, the NXT Tegan
It's
and
a better
Dakota.
segment in comparison,
Oh,
but it
okay.
didn't progress.
All right, yeah, there we go. Bus is saying, imagine Pac in street clothes cutting that same promo wouldn't be as badass as it was. True.
No,
that's a
you
good
sold me.
point.
You sold me. I'm good. I'm with it.
Main event time, fellas. We get the Inner Circle versus Private Party. That was total Freudian slip, too.
Here's how you tell the difference. Here's how you tell the difference. One wrestles and one doesn't.
Oh, man.
Oh. Are you
Wait, I
talking
don't
about Dawkins? I'm not even sure
I
where
don't
he's
know, I don't know
going.
what's going on
No,
with
one
that.
tag team wrestles and one doesn't.
Okay. Let's continue to intro the topic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we have Darby and Private Party against the Inner Circle, which this time is Proud and Powerful and Jericho. Yeah, I said it like that. And then we got the Dusty Finals on the other side, the Grizzled Young Veterans and Riddle and Dunn. Both are very, very predictable of who's going to win. But I got to say one thing for AEW.
I wish you'd say it already.
And I'm going to say it 3 times.
Dramatic effect. But dun dun dun.
I'm going to say it 3 times.
Tonight.
Darby,
Marked out.
Darby, Darby.
Yeah.
He's a star.
Oh, my God. I mean, he has just an accent on all his moves. He's doing legitimate wrestling moves. He's not doing spots like Private Party is. He's doing legit wrestling moves. It's just his transitions between everything is so quick and so fast-paced. Darby Allin is a fucking star.
You know how he just does like up the go behinds. He slides on one knee, and even just like the arm drag from the top row.
How lazy do you see other wrestlers when they go behind somebody?
Right,
Brian?
no, everything he just has, like, it's just so much different. Like, he has his own pizzazz that he adds to every single move.
Pizzazz, I like it.
Yeah, or flair, but I think pizzazz is better.
Pizzazz is better.
Vice is saying Darby's so fucking good.
And by the way,
fluid, dude.
By the way, the Broserweights and the Grizzled Young Veterans was not a bad match. It was very, very good. It was a great tag team match, but this is sports entertainment to a certain extent. And Darby, I couldn't look away from Darby. I wanted to watch the other match some, but Darby was so captivating.
NXT in this tag team match, let me broaden that. This Dusty tag team tournament has been the most anticlimactic version of this tournament we've had since they started it.
You knew who was going to win each round, each match. Maybe not from the beginning.
Okay, and that's your point. That's your point, and that's a fair point. For me, it's not even the fact that I knew who was going to win. That doesn't matter to me. The fact is that it was no consequence.
Yeah.
And there was no stories within it. If we had good stories within it, I think it would have been better. So for me, this match where it was a fine match, sure, great tag team wrestling, absolutely. It was a funny little promo where they opened it up with Dunn and fucking Bro.
But it could have been a second hour kicker offer.
This could have been a match anytime, any night of the week, just for the hell of it.
Curtain jerk.
Yeah. So the Dusty tournament was lame, and the outcome was whatever. So
and a team that's never fought together is 3-0 in the champions.
But that's how it always is. That's how it's been for years.
No, it alternates
yes, it
every
has.
year.
No,
It alternates.
Joe, Finn. I mean,
AOP,
I guess you could.
No,
but there were stories.
Undisputed.
There were really heavy stories going into the Dusty Classic in the past.
Yeah, the Undisputed Era one where Roddy and Dunn were in the finals and Roddy turned on Dunn. That was a huge fucking story. It wasn't just the Dusty Classic. It was a fucking story. When Finn and Joe won, it was a fucking story. When AOP won, it was a fucking story.
Yeah, AOP went in dominating everyone and
we're like, are they going to be upset? Is this the time?
They
Nope.
crushed the Profits.
Talk about tag divisions, all right? You said that NXT is flexing their women's division. I think AEW is flexing their tag division. I mean, compared to NXT
I said it
right
at the
now,
top of the show,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. I agree with you.
And that's fine. Nobody's arguing that they have a bad tag. Saying that they have a bad tag division. I just, so for me, when you look at main events, anything with Jericho is going to be fucking. That's automatically going to get 2 points onto the score.
Agreed.
Darby Allin, I cannot agree more. Darby Allin is fucking fun to watch.
So much fun.
And you know what?
He makes Andrade and Carrillo look like little bitches.
People who move around as fast as he does, that have so many back-to-back moves that are so fluid, that move like he does, fuck up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
They fuck up a lot.
Not him.
He doesn't.
What's
I mean,
also
even when
good is it's weird, Brian. Chain wrestling normally is I'm going to hold you into the next move, He releases, but does chain wrestling.
Sure.
Because he's going into that next move off his release. repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's a weird style of chain
I
wrestling.
love the thing when he does. I forget what he did previously, but like the dive that he does between the first and second rope that he did tonight. I think to fucking proud and powerful. I don't know. I just everything he does is just super quick.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
you
sorry.
totally
I was trying
Medine
to
that.
read the board at the same time, but I'll see what Vice wrote. He said, "Street Profits are jobbers now, Rob. How do you?" Oh,
I
just had an Adam moment.
Read what
Now I just had
Sklenner.
an Adam
You should have
moment.
read what Sklenner wrote. He
All right,
says
yeah.
Pete Dunne has done nothing. But been a big story. Pete Dunne being the butt of the joke here. Again, I said, check the tape weeks ago. I think you guys agreed. We were all in agreement here that Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle need to do something different.
Yeah.
Whether this is a swing and a miss, let's see where it goes. Tonight was kind of funny, their little backstage promo.
Let me address two things on the board.
Oh boy.
First, I want to go with Jason Glenar. He says, and Darby Allin fucking sells so realistically. That's what I like about him. When you're in a fight, you don't pause necessarily. I mean, I get you in wrestling. Everybody does the taunts and panders to the crowd. I get that. That's the showmanship of it. I don't hate that. But the fact that he's like, no, I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you. Fucking spider monkey style.
Right.
That to me is so much fun. Now, just real quick, let me just address Anaconda Vag real quick. Street Profits are jobbers now, Rob. How do you feel about that? I'm not going to get them. I've been very honest recently that I do not like the direction they've used the Street Profits for. I do not like the fact they're not in the ring. I think it's horrible. Now, I'm not going to call them fucking jobbers. I don't think that's fair.
You have to wrestle. You have to wrestle to be a jobber.
Well, yeah. I will say this: I am worried that they might be moving in that direction.
Yeah,
I'll admit that.
Yeah, they're 90% backstage for their main roster. I know they were backstage for 6 months.
Yeah,
but it's 90%. They came out for an open challenge. They came out for a triple threat.
Yeah,
for the title. They had no build to either of those bookings, and they've done nothing since then. The only push they've gotten is the after the weekend update.
So maybe the Street Profits don't necessarily build to where I'd like them to build to. But the saving grace is Bianca Belair. And Montez has his own personality over the fucking top. And Bianca's going to be huge when she gets the main roster. They're not going to drop him or job him.
I hope she never goes to the main roster.
She will.
She is.
Bianca Belair is going to show up Monday after Mania.
Okay. We'll book it. So I'm giving AEW main event. Rob?
Oh, yeah. No question. No question at all.
Ryan? Doesn't matter what your vote is, but give it.
AEW.
So that makes us 3-3, guys. So now it's time. Who won Wednesday?
You know, the score kind of tells it for me. 3-3 between us. I thought both shows did really good to highlight the divisions they chose to highlight, respectively, and they still fit in the rest of their roster and what was going on in their story. So I had no problems on either show. Nitpicky things, yes, on both sides. Great shows, great wrestling. I love that NXT flexed its women's muscle. But sometimes in war, go into battle, you realize today's not the day for either one of you. Go back and you regroup, or you have a good day. So for me, they went into battle. They both had a good showing. They said, we'll do it again. We'll do it again next week. Tie.
You're giving it a tie.
I'm giving it a tie tonight.
Wow.
Brian.
I'm going to go with AEW just because, especially with the main event too. How they told the story with like the inner circle and
Jericho got the book in the show too.
Right. Him hitting the fucking Judas effect, that fucking looked like he took the guy's head off.
Yeah, that was great.
But yeah, I don't know. And plus with Moxley coming back out too and turning away everyone in the inner circle with a fucking bat. Thought that was pretty interesting. Him making the save, looking strong. I like it. I like where their story's going, and really just the Dusty Classic, like it was kind of saying before, it doesn't really have any kind of not like consequence. It's not that big of a deal to me, just because they don't really make it that big of a deal. Like they're just throwing like teams together.
But you can't use that as your reasoning why to pick AEW. Here.
Sure, I can. Why?
No, because there was stuff on AEW where you could compare. Like this was not. This
no,
was
overall, I think that the main event segment was what kind of really just nailed it, like the hammer down.
All right. Well, for me, I think the women being showcased on NXT against the tag teams on AEW being showcased is a push. I think they both did very well at building their divisions tonight and throwing other stories aside from a championship in. So it's very, very tough. I agree with you on the push there, Rob.
Yeah.
However, the fact that the AEW women are so below par has to give the win to NXT here. On the overall booking of the show, you have a fucking pockmark twice on one side. You really don't on the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be nitpicky. I don't really care about the main event, but whatever it is, if you go with the push of each one's doing their division, at the end of the day, one has a division that is just so lackluster and don't give a fuck. I look away. Most of the time we're battling for my attention. That's how Darby Allin won the main event, because he just got my attention. But anytime the AEW women are on,
you don't like the women divisions anyway, then.
I love the NXT women's division because it's a
does.
real division.
All right, fair enough.
It's a good division. I don't give flying figs about the other division.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing the same matchups over and over again. I've never seen Deanna Purrazzo fight fucking Shotzi before.
I've seen Chelsea Green and fucking
Kaden Carter.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that's
Tegan
definitely
and Dakota had a build. So even though I've kind of seen it, I haven't seen this version. So anyway, I'm going to give it to AEW.
I thought you said NXT.
Or NXT.
Yeah.
What's the board got, Brian?
Vice is saying AEW. The feel of the show also pushed this over for me. Does make a difference. That venue sucks balls. I think he's referring to.
Jay says it's a push. Leonard says fans as always. Anaconda Vice, the board wins for not having to have Rob ran his ass off tonight. Holy shit, it's been like nails on a damn chalkboard. God bless Wednesdays. Thank you, Adam.
Of course he read that.
Of course I would read that.
Why would he read that? G2 Entertainment, he says, what do you guys think about them calling Rhea's belt just plainly the NXT Championship now? I don't know
that's
if you've
Double
heard
G
that.
Gaming, not G2.
No, I know. I'm just
Okay.
reading it just for purposes of.
Yeah, they don't
other
call
ones.
it the NXT Men's Championship.
Well, they used to call it the Women's Champ. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Is he saying they shouldn't call it the Women's?
No, they already said
they're not.
They
They're just
changed
saying
it.
she's got the NXT Championship.
I have literally no problem with that.
Yeah,
Some people
I
are
don't
kind
give
of
a
up
shit.
in arms about it.
I don't give a
that,
shit.
you know, in every social change in the history of this country, there's always somebody who's up in arms about something.
Sure.
Vice says AEW, the feel of the show also pushed this over for me. It does make a difference. The venue sucks balls.
You've never
just
been
said
there.
that.
It's talking about Full Sail.
You've never been to Full Sail then.
Oh, sorry.
Anybody who thinks Full Sail sucks balls has never been to fucking Full Sail.
No, it definitely looks fun. I've never been there personally.
So
It
much
looks
fun.
fucking fun.
Well, and
you can't argue that.
Finn is in a great spot now back on NXT. Keith Lee is great spot on NXT. Velveteen Dream is going to come back eventually.
Dominic and
You know,
and
all these
fucking
other people, like I don't want
Damien.
anybody to go to the main roster anymore. And that's why I'm totally against Bianca Belair going to be faded away and inconsistently booked like Lacey Evans and 100 other fucking people I can name. Going to end up like Sasha Banks.
You know what? Well, yeah, but
I don't know. I think she's going to get a push.
she
roster.
can's go to the main roster.
I think she's going to go to the main roster and get a heavy fucking push.
No, she.
Oh
what if-
man,
she should
I
stay in
had no
NXT.
idea
Is
what's going.
there any way that she'll stay in NXT?
No.
Why?
Variety of reasons.
Well, what if someone was to break up a certain sum?
Are you wishing that their marriage would break
no,
up?
I'm not saying wishing. I'm saying what if I don't know. What if I wore like a low cut, like I don't know, V-neck or something?
We want the smoke. Talk to him.
Are you trying to say that Bianca would like your smoke?
Why would I say anything about Bianca?
Hey,
Maybe
Brian.
this is about Montez.
You know what this means, right?
What? Oh,
Let's just move on. So,
just saying.
I think it's a really tough week. I think they both did very, very well. Rob gave it a push. We each got a vote apiece. The board seems to be split as well. Let's not forget, though, that you can now go to Hot Mic and listen to us do pay-per-views there. The invite code marked out right when you go in there. You need that invite code to get in. You type it in. It doesn't matter what case it's in. All one word, marked out, MARKEDOUT.
And yes, you can go and you can watch the replay from Rumble if you'd like. It's there.
All you got to do is watch the Rumble on the network. You sync up our audio, and you don't have to listen to Cole.
And Vic Joseph. Vic doing it that night? No, Tom Phillips was.
Fuck your face.
Fuck your face, Philip.
Fuck your face, Philip. Super small field coming across on live TV is what Vice is saying
It's a
about
classroom.
Full Sail. It's true, but they sell out.
Yes, they sell out 40 chairs. That's cool.
And they comp 20 of them.
I got none.
Anyway, we'll be back Monday. We'll be talking about SmackDown
We're gonna do our awards.
and Raw. We're going to get to our awards in a second.
He's about to shut us down, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, whatever.
We got 2 awards, the Marked Out Award and the Petty Town. Rob, you're chomping at the bit. Give me your Marked Out.
Marked out for NXT was Cole going through the table. I thought that was great. The whole, and it's not just the moment he went through, but it was the whole setup of bring the table down, spray paint the X, fucking wait for Cole.
Tell your plan.
Cole gets some. Tell your plan. Cole gets in there, gets some fucking heat, and then the plan comes to fruition, and Cole goes through the table. Fucking marked out for that whole segment.
And what about AEW?
AEW, I'm gonna go fucking just not really a moment as much as a match. Darby Allin, man, is just fucking fun to watch. So much fun. I haven't gotten bored with him one time.
Please.
So yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I'm going to go with mine next, Brian. Then we'll do you in the board.
Sure.
My Marked Out moment, the Poison Karana, I think it's called, from Punishment Martinez. Man,
Yeah.
a big guy doing that move, and he looks so fluent doing it. I mean, perfect balance the way he goes over the top. I like it. Very versatile. And on the other side, both. I wrote. I couldn't decide. So I put the nameplates comment and the beer spot for Hangman Adam Page. I'm all about the cowboy shit.
Yeah.
Brian.
My marked out moment for NXT was when Marty Scurll showed up at the New Japan show in Durham a couple days ago, so that was pretty cool.
Okay.
And then my marked out moment for AEW was, you know what? I'm going to say the Britt Baker promo.
Wow.
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 Not going to say any more.
You're such a troll.
That's all. Why?
Fucking troll.
Why, Rob?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
No, you're allowed to have your opinion.
No, come on. What?
Nothing.
There something?
Yes, Stike, we know
Huh.
that the Dusty final got you a tag team champion. Check the tape. I said there was 3 contenders,
Yeah.
booked tonight.
Yeah,
on
but
NXT.
still, it just doesn't feel all that big when they're throwing people.
Marked
Sorry.
outs on the board. Jericho slapping Darby with medals on a strap. That's from Berto.
Yeah.
Hybrid graduating AEW Dark faster than the Profits got out of the Performance Center. That's from Bang Bus. Stike says NXT Cole, and for Ciampa, Cole and Ciampa, and for AEW it's Darby. Jason Sklenner. Baby Sklenner's coming Tuesday. If he doesn't come before then, they're going to induce. So that's his marked out.
I want to see that picture with the onesie.
Vice says Adam Page, hold my beer into that badass spot's his marked out. And he says that promo was wicked good. Can't hate on Brian for that. Yes, we
Wicked
can.
good.
We will always hate on Brian
See?
for that.
No.
I'm going to kick off the Petty Town, the Dusty Classic booking, from including NXT tag teams or NXT UK tag teams, not mixing up the bracket, knowing basically who was going to win each round. It fell flat. I know it's a tag, whatever. And then my Petty Town for AEW. Every week it seems like we go off air with a brawl. Every week we're ending with 5 to 10 guys in the ring brawling. And that's how we roll credits every single week. It diminishes a moment and the spot to do it all the time. Again, it's petty. I haven't gotten sick of it yet, but I'm pretty close. Brian, Petty Town.
Petty Town for AEW is Butcher Bunny and Blade taking the loss again. And if that's just me being petty, I would like to see them maybe pick up a win somewhere, but
And the Bucks could sustain the loss.
for sure.
But they're trying to make them look as contenders, I guess.
Yeah.
To go onto the Omega page.
And for NXT, my Petty Town was them just, I don't know, man, just wholesale in general. General hate.
Come on,
Just general hate.
That's what you got. You got nothing you can shit on NXT. So you just go to some fucking.
Well, I would just like to see them travel around. They go all the way to fucking Saudi Arabia. They can't get out of wholesale.
Ryan, I do see some of your point with the full sale comment, but you earned this.
Don't want to sound like a dick or nothing, but it says on your chart that you're fucked up.
Yeah.
You talk like a fag,
Oh,
and
no.
your shit's all retarded.
Oh, you
What
can't
I
say those
do
words.
Is just like,
I didn't.
you know what I mean? Like,
And
Anyway, Rob, last stop, Petty Town.
Petty Town for NXT is gonna be it's the Dusty Classic in general. The lack of oomph or any kind of story or emotional engagement. The Dusty Classic. Dusty Rhodes is better. The name deserves more than that. So that's my Petty Town for NXT. Petty Town for AEW, I got like 1.5. All right. So the half is shitting on JR. If JR, I'm not saying that he's immune to any kind of fucking story or getting shit on, but make it a relevant part of a story or a character who
Not out of nowhere.
that kind of does that kind of thing, and somebody who can do it with the kind of respect. If somebody's
Maybe
gonna
MJF.
if somebody's gonna shit on JR, I want it to be somebody who kind of deserves to shit on JR. You know what I mean? Britt Baker doesn't deserve to shit on JR. So
That's your opinion, though.
well, and this is why it's my petty town.
Sure.
But my main one is gonna be, I don't know if I've seen it before. Maybe I wouldn't pay attention. That Inner Circle intro they showed tonight when Jericho brought him out after him. Have they done that one before? I don't remember.
It seemed like they wanted to give them music or something for
Right.
the faction.
So my petty town is not using that new entrance song in video when they came out for the match, the main event.
They wanted them to sing Judas.
I know. I mean, I'm well aware of why they're doing it. But it's like, if you're gonna premiere that for your faction, use it. I know. I'm popping my peas tonight.
Popping peas.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? What do you think that tease was? 5/2/2020 NXT.
522. What was that? What are we talking about?
There was a tease. It said for 5/2/20 has changed. Now it's for 5/20.
Yeah.
2-5 is next week, isn't it? It's next Wednesday. So
That's Wednesday.
Petty Town for Bang Bus. NXT, they're just a 2016 PWG. Iron Meds, Petty Town wasn't feeling the tank. I think he's talking about the Shotzi
Yeah.
coming to the ring in the tank.
Eh.
Stike says Petty Town. Hall of Famer Stike says Petty Town. NXT, Tegan and Dakota not being safe for Portland. And AEW, another 8-man tag match next week. And Berto says pussy. Anaconda Vice, Velveteen Dream next week. Is it? I would love that.
That'd be great.
Is that what 2-5
I don't
is?
know.
Is Velveteen? That would be amazing. Maybe that theme is just for when Jericho's not with them, Bang Bus says.
Comes back in time for Valentine's Day.
Because he was already out. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for our awards. Prediction, Beth Phoenix gets RKO'd on NXT to build up Edge versus Orton. That's what Jay says. That would be cool, but do it on the main roster. Killer Cross debuts next week on NXT. Berto says, anyone know where they're all the pods, all episodes of South Park? I think they're on Hulu.
Yeah.
But they don't
Probably.
sponsor us,
Coming
so I
on
don't
down
care.
to South Park.
Yeah.
And they faces everywhere. Humble folks without temptation.
What about
Wow.
little girls with big fat titties, little girls with big vaginas? That's what Kenny says.
Big fat pussies.
Oh, it's big.
I wouldn't. You said that just clear as day on the air. So audio. And when I say someone, I say me.
All right, you enjoy that.
All
I know you like to do audio. I don't know where to end this. I guess we should just end it.
I don't know.
End it.
Yeah. So tune in next time.
Say goodbye to
Uh,
Anaconda Vag.
Anaconda
goodbye to the board.
Vice.
Oh, here's how we end it.
Say goodbye to your best friends.
Here's
the
how,
board.
here's how we end it. I got it.
Yeah.
Let me do it. Go to markedoutgear.com. Get yourself a T-shirt or a baby onesie if you're having a baby soon, or a coffee mug if you need to drink coffee at work. Put 10% off. Code is going to be marked out, all one word.
Check the tape shirt will be on there soon.
Yeah.
Which
maybe.
one?
Check the
don't
tape
forget
shirt.
to
yes.
check out collarandelbowbrand.com, maybe, or don't. I don't know. 10%
Go to
off.
go to Collar and Elbow Brand. Go order something. Use the code marked out.
Make sure you get your tracking number.
Yeah, make sure you get your tracking number. You might
I would
receive
say
it.
I've been missing it, but
You might receive it. You might not. I don't know. That's I guess. I really have nothing else to say
It's
about
up in
that.
the air there.
But you can still get a discount.
Yeah, don't forget to download the Hot Mic app, and invite code is marked out. Check out our pay-per-view, our Royal Rumble replay. And
let us know what you think, guys, because it was our
Yeah.
first time on there. You
Hey,
know,
do us a favor. iTunes, we need you. If we're going to build this, iTunes is so instrumental. If we're going to build more into this fourth year, we need you to go to iTunes. Even if you don't listen to us on iTunes, go to iTunes and rate us and review us. That's what we need. Go to iTunes. Even if you don't listen on the regular on iTunes, go there, follow, rate, review, please.
iTunes.
Oh, that was back when she was.
yeah, back when she wasn't the demon.
Yeah.
So in any event, we'll be back here next week doing the AEW and NXT comparison for Who Won Wednesday. We'll be back Monday talking about Raw and SmackDown. For Rody Rob, for Bionic Brian, I am Adam Baum, the Jew that leads the crew. Tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Markedout Podcast is produced and edited by You Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from